Hello, I'm Dan Passarelli here on the floor of the CME Group. Well, one of the stocks that we talked about today in our Market Taker Live Advantage group coaching class is JP Morgan, symbol JPM. JP Morgan just had earnings. They had their quarterly earnings announcement released and it beat expectations. However, the stock has fallen since earnings. Now, what often happens leading up to earnings and even including the day of earnings is the implied volatility rises. Now that makes options expensive. And the implied volatility right now is still a little bit elevated. Now because the stock is down, there's support at $108 a share from previous support levels. It looks like a really great opportunity here to sell a put credit spread. Now the specific put credit spread that I like is selling the April 20th expiration 105-108 put credit spread. Now specifically that's selling the April 20th 108 puts and buying the April 20th 105 puts. Now the reason why this strategy makes a whole lot of sense is a couple of reasons. One is because we're selling options and options are still a little bit expensive because implied volatility is high and implied volatility should come down. So after we sell that, we might be able to make a little bit of money on these options that we sold, losing value as a result of implied volatility falling. But also, and even more importantly, there's support at $108 a share. I think that JP Morgan will probably bounce and head a little bit higher, which will benefit this trade. But even if it doesn't, as long as the stock stays above $108 a share, guess what? This trade ends up profitable. That's sort of one of the great advantages to selling a credit spread is that the stock doesn't actually necessarily have to move your way, it just has to not move against you by a certain amount. So as long as it stays above 108 and as long as implied volatility comes down and of course as long as time passes, we've got all three of our major option price influences, Delta, Theta, and Vega, all working in our favor on this trade. I'm Dan Passarelli of MarketTaker.com here on the floor of the CME Group.